How you doing today? Bill Applegate here. I'm going to do a lesson today on a great standard by Sonny Rollins called St. Thomas. It's going to be a real straight ahead lesson. Start with the head, show you how to play the head, and then we'll do a little bit of comping, give you some comping ideas, and then finally we'll look at some soloing ideas. So let's go ahead and get started with the head. Okay, the head lays very well here in second position, starting on the G, 5th fret with your pinky here on the 4th string. You want to do some really short notes, a lot of staccato notes. If you want to, you can do a little pizzicato, but that does get a little tiring after a while. Tiring sounding to the listener. I think it gets a little old. If you're the only one playing the head, you might do that the first time, and then the second time through not do that. Okay, so we're laying here. You just kind of roll your pinky over here to get the C. So it's okay, and then the same phrase again. Okay, then here I'm just doing octaves, starting on the 5th fret, 2nd string, 5th fret, and 5th string, 7th fret, and then just going up. Sometimes I'll do kind of a little slide there. Then back down. Then staying here in second position. Okay, there you have it, the head. It's deceptively hard, okay? Okay, let's move on to the comping. Okay, you have to have two different compings, one for the head. So if you're backing a saxophone or something, you need to have one for the head, and then one for the solos. So let's look at the one we're using for the head first. Just using a regular old C6 here, typical C6 voicing with the root 6th, 3rd, 5th. Going to an E minor 7, I'm doing with the 11th here. So you might play an E minor 7 like this, just lift this finger. Okay, and you get the root 11th, flat 7th, and then flat 3rd. And your real typical A7 voicing here with the root, flat 7, 3rd, 5th. Then I'm just doing the same thing a step lower, D minor 7 with the 11th here. And then the same G7, same as the A7, so it's... And then here I'm lighting on a C6-9, 3, root 3, 6, 9. So that whole phrase. Okay, and then you do that twice. Okay, here we're doing E minor 7, flat 5. Sometimes this is written as a C7 chord. So an E minor 7, flat 5 has all the same notes except for the root of a C9 chord. So either way it works. And since that's true, I'm just going to use that and then move here to the B flat 7, which is the same shape we used before, the real typical shape here. So it's just sliding down a half step. Here we're using the same voicing except we're raising the 5th. And then on the G7 we're lowering making the 5th natural again. Okay, so that whole middle section. Let me try that a little cleaner. Okay, this part came out really nice. It might look like an A minor 7 to you, but it works as a C6 since they have the same notes. So it would be 3, 6, root, 5th. And then to do the C7, you just move this finger up. Okay. And the same 6, 9 we use down here on the C, but on the F. So it's and then a real typical F sharp diminished voicing. And now here it looks like a G6, 9, but it actually works as a C. We have the 5th, the major 7th, 3rd, and the 6th. And then you just have to change one note to get the G9. Okay, that whole little section. Okay, so that works for the head, and then when you do the solos, you're going to have a real similar voicings, but I expanded on them just a little bit. We're going to still start with that regular C6, and then this chord's the same, the E minor with the 11th, E minor 7 with the 11th in there. Here I did a 13th chord with the 3rd in the bass, A13, so it's 3rd, flat 7th, 9th, 13th, so it's, and then just the same thing, a step lower, and still you keep that 6, 9, because that works really well. That's just. Notice that this chord isn't anticipated like it is during the head, so you're just right on the beat there. You can get a little motion in there, just playing maybe on the whole notes, you know. Okay, here we're going to use that same E minor 7 flat 5 voicing, but we're going to keep that shape to do the B flat 9 and the A9. So it's, okay, here we're going to use a D minor 9, and what's going to be cool is we're going to keep this note as like a pedal tone. There's your A7 sharp, and it has a sharp 9 too, sharp 5 and sharp 9. 3rd, flat 7th, sharp 9, sharp 5, so it's okay. And then here we just use the same thing we did before. Just as not anticipated. So I'll play that whole thing. Okay, there you have it, the comping. Let's move on and look at the solo. Alright, I'm starting here with an enclosure around the 3rd. So the half step above the 3rd, half step below the 3rd, and then landing on 3rd. Then 5th, 6th, root. Okay, then on the E minor 7, I'm starting on the 5th and just doing chromatically up to the 7th. And this would be on the A would be A7 would be 9, flat 7, 5. Okay, then the third, flat third of the D minor 7, root 3, and then here I'm using some altered tones on the G7, sharp 9, flat 9, root, flat 7th, ending on the 5th of the C chord. Okay, going on, I'm starting on the 5th and going to the 6th, back and forth, and then ending on the 3rd. Here I'm starting on the flat 7th of the E minor 7, and then playing chromatically up to the root, then the flat 3rd, okay, and then this is similar as before, the 9th. Now I'm putting a root in, root, flat 7, 5th. Okay, then as before, the flat 3rd of the D minor, root, 2nd, and then the flat 7th of the G7, 6, 5, 3, or 13 you might want to call that, 7, 13, 5, 3. Okay, and then just a real typical, almost like an exercise, I guess, on the C, 1, 7, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try that whole little phrase. Okay, here on the E minor 7 flat 5, I'm playing the 3rd, then the flat 5th, back to the 3rd, and that's the 5th of the B flat 7th. Then starting on the 5th of the A 7th, I'm just going chromatically up to the flat 7th, back to the 5th, okay. D minor, I'm just playing flat 3, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 4, and then ending on what would be the sharp 5th of the A flat 7th. Down here on the G7, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3. Okay, now in this last phrase I use kind of a bluesy approach. So we got the 3rd, 5th, and then we have the flat 7th going down to the 5th. Here we just have root 7, root 2. Okay. Now here I wrote it starting, but I meant to really start here on, this is just your basic Chuck Berry lick. So reverse what's written there. Start with the C on the 13th fret and go to the C on the 8th fret. Just kind of a blues lick to end it. Okay, at least so kind of slide into that. Okay, and then the next part, I left some room for you to improvise there. Remember to make sure to get the backing tracks for this stuff. Okay, and there you have it, the solo. All right, there's a short little lesson on St. Thomas. Remember, if you want the backing tracks and the recorded examples and the PDF too, go to my website, BillApplegateGuitarist.com. Remember, if you want more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. And you guys have a great day. Thanks a lot for listening. Hope this was useful.